my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys a simplified method of cutting a bucket hat. So I'm just going to be showing you guys how to make your own personal pattern with your own head circumference and everything. So please subscribe to the channel as a way of supporting me. And yeah, so let's get into the video. So first, to cut the pattern, you're going to need a piece of maybe your pattern paper. I'm still going to make a different one where I cut mine without any pattern. So here is just for you guys to see how to cut and make your own personal pattern. You can make for your child, you can make for anybody, just as long as you have their head circumference. So first thing you're going to do, you have to have your paper that is open this way. You're going to fold it into two, right? And then I'm going to fold it again, you see? And then I'm going to fold it again. On this side that you folded it, right, you're going to use this corner, just like how you cut a circle skirt, right? You see, you folded it into two, right? And then at this part that has the most fold, not this part that has the four ends, or this corner here, just this one at this end, you're going to start putting in your measurement. And what you're going to do first is to measure around your head. So the round head I'm using here is 24. So yours can be 20, yours can be 22. I'm going to insert how you're going to measure around your head, the particular part you're going to measure. So after that, you're going to whatever you got. So I'm using 24 in this video. So that 24, I'm going to divide it by 6.28. This is what you use for cutting circle skirt. This is what you use for anytime you want to cut a circle. So this is for anybody, any size, any shape. This, you're going to measure the head circumference and divide it by 6.28. So after that, whatever you got, so for me, I got around 3.8. So I'm just going to call it 3.8. So I'm just going to place my tape at this point here, this angle here that I told you guys about, and then I'm going to measure out 3.8 all the way around and cut it out. So guys, this is it here. I'm going to go ahead. So how I did it is the measurement you got after that. So whatever is your head circumference, divide it by 6.28, and then you're going to put that here. So let's say you got 3.5, you're going to measure 3.5 to this point, 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 and then you're going to go ahead and cut it out. You see mine here, I'm just going to connect the lines and then cut it out. If you want, when you measure the person's head, if you want, because maybe you still wear wig under it, or if you still wear something under it, you might just put in your two fingers in between, just so that it's a little bit slack, right? Just make sure that your two fingers can pass in between. Like this is the tape, put your two fingers here, like you've measured the person round their head. Their head is inside of this tape now. You just put two fingers inside just to be sure that, or one finger, anyone you want. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So this is going to be the crown, the top part of my hat. So what I'm going to do, you can go ahead and mark all these corners here. You can go ahead and mark it, or you can use your ruler and just give it all the corners, just so that you know that this is the center this way. And then you can also go ahead and mark one coming down here and know that this is the other center here, right? So this is the crown. Now we are going to cut. So now we've marked the crown, we'll set it aside. Now we're going over to marking the second part. So to mark the second part, you're going to get another paper, and then that round head measurement you got before, you're going to divide it by 2. So for me, I got 24 for the round head. My head measurement is 24, right? So you're going to divide it by 2. If I divide mine by 2, it's going to be 12. So you're going to start from one end of your paper, like you see, 12 inches is what I have, right? So I'm going to start here. First of all, I'm going to mark half an inch at this line here. So I'm going to move up half an inch. Just come off half an inch here and just mark it out straight, right? Just half an inch before I start putting in all my measurements. This is just my seam allowance here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in what I need. So start here, and then I'm going to put in half of my head, which is 12, right? So this is 12 here. I'm going to mark that here, and then I'm going to go ahead and make, what I'm making here is just a rectangle. I'm going to go in and mark that here, and then after that, the next thing I'm going to go in to put here is the length you want this one to be. So guys, you can use 3 inches distance here. you can use 3 inches of width for the length of this center part of your heart, right? We've gotten the crown. Now we are trying to get this second part here. You can use 3 inches, you can use 3.5, but this is one of the bucket hats that I have that fit me perfectly. So, and it's 3.5. So for me, I'm going to use 3.5. If you don't want the depth of yours to be that deep, and maybe you have a smaller head, then you can use 3 inches. It doesn't matter, but I'm just going to use 3.5 for mine. So all you have to do is from this distance here, now you're going to mark 3.5 up or 3 inches, whichever one you're using. I'm going to just mark it in. So guys, as you can see, I've marked mine here. So basically why I started my measurement from this edge is because this is going to be on a fold. So this angle here, I'm going to just put in an arrow and write fold. So I'm going to cut this part on a fold, right? I'm going to cut this part on a fold. So that's why I made sure to put my measurement all the way to the end. So you see, half of my head circumference, I measured it from this point to 12 inches, which is, my head circumference is 24. So I just measured half of it from this end here. So guys, now I'm going to go ahead. You see, I added half an inch at the top part here for seam allowance. So guys, I have half an inch at the top, I have half an inch at the bottom, and then I have half an inch here. So you see, this part is a fold, so I don't have any half an inch there, so only here, here, and here. So I'm going to start from this point and cut it out. So now we've cut out our second portion of this hat, and we'll move over to the third one. So guys, so now I know that I'm going to have one piece of my crown. My crown is going to be one piece here. And then this one here is going to be on this one that has a fold. Since the fabric is going to be folded this way when I go ahead to cut it, like when I want to cut it, I'm just going to fold my fabric this way and then take this one here and place it right at the end of the fold. So when I unfold it, it's going to be on a double, like it's going to be into two, right? If that makes any sense. So you see, your fabric is going to be folded this way when you go to trace this out. So that's why I said it's going to be on a fold. So guys, as you can see, we've cut the top, right? We've cut the top part of the crown. We've cut the second part here now. So now we need to cut the bottom part. So this bottom part here, you can use 2.5 inches, you can use 3 inches. It depends on you how wide you want your brim to be, but I'm going to be using 2.5. And how you're going to do it is your head circumference again is what you're going to use. Remember how we went through this one, your head circumference divided by 6.28. This one, your head circumference divided by 2. The third step is your head circumference divided by 3.14. 3.14, right? So for me, my head circumference is 24 divided by 3.14. I got about 7.6. So you see, I opened up my tracing paper again. From one angle here, you're going to just put in whatever you got. So you're going to just go ahead and keep putting it all the way. That distance is what you got. So I got 7.64, and as you can see, mine is 7.64 all the way to the end here, right? All the way to the end. And after that, you're going to just trace it out, right? Trace it out perfectly so you can see it. And then the next thing you're going to do is to go ahead and put in what you want to use. It depends on you. So for me, I'm going to be using 2.5 inches, right? So 2.5 is what I'm using here. Or I'm going to just make it 2.5 inches. Then I'm going to go back in and put my seam allowance for the length. So I'm going to mark that here, 2.5 here. Just keep on marking distance of 2.5 all the way to the end. So guys, with this here, you can go ahead and make all those bigger brims that people normally wear, like a sun hat. At this point, you can go ahead and make yours that big. But for me, if you're making a bucket hat, what you're going to mark here is just like 3 inches all the way, and half an inch is going to serve as your seam allowance. So you see, I marked 3 inches here, but as you can see, I marked already 2.5 all the way. But then if you look at it from this distance, it's just 3 inches, but I traced out half an inch here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And see, this is how you're going to cut it. So I'm using a green, I'm making a reversible one. I'm using a green and a black fabric. So one side is going to be green and the other side is going to be black. So basically, to cut it, all you have to do is to fold your fabric into two this way. You see how I folded mine, and I already know the ones that will be cut on edge. So this is going to cut on a fold, this is going to cut on a fold, and as you can see, I have a fold here. So you see, I placed this one, the side that is going to be on a fold, I've placed it. The center, I just folded it into two so that I can make the most of my fabric. See it here, and then this one here, the folded part is going to, so all I have to do is just to go in here, cut straight, cut this one out this way, cut this one out this way, and I have my 3 patterns. Go back, trace it on the black and start doing it. So if you want to see how to make the reversible one, you can click on my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.